diġà bilja. X'jissejjaħ l-istudju tal-pjaneti. Bil-Malti, ovvjament.
L-istudju
Tal-pjaneti.
L-istudju tal-pjaneti jgħidli.
Leħe, x'jissejjaħ? Trid lajnuna jew le?
Le. Astronomru.
Le, it-tweġiba kienet botanika.
Botanika.
Ħammorru għal-Nil.
Okay.
Ġietek il-kategorija tal-ġeografija. Ħala naqilbuha peress li ġiet tliet darbi wara xulxin.
Okay. Erġa. Stanna.
Ġietek tal-isport issa differenti.
Sports, okay.
Ir-regatta tiġi organizzata fil-Vitorja u f'liema okkażjoni oħra.
Ejdli answers. Xinu answers or?
Frar, fjum il-Helsin, Santa Maria jew fjum Indipendenza.
Fjum il-Dipendenza?
Le.
Le.
Ħadet 5 punti.
Okay, xini correct answer?
Jew il-Helsin.
Jum il-Helsin. No, għawattum. Got it mixed up.
Ħammorru.
Għal-Amerikom.
Ġietek il-kategorija tad-divertiment. F'liema film Ben Stiller ħadem il-parti ta' sis f'mużew bil-lejl.
Night in the museum.
It-tweġiba hija tajba. Ħajżdiedu 10 punti. Ħanajdilkom kif qegħdin. Melkim, int għandek il-kategoriji ġewwa tal-ġeografija, tax-xjenza u tad-divertiment. Joqsok tal-isport, tal-istorja u tal-arti u l-kultura. Nil, int għandek kollox apparti tal-arti u l-kultura.
Okay.
U tax-xjenza u naħseb dik biss baqalek.
All right.
Okay, ħammorru għal-kategoriji li joqoskom mela.
All right.
Melkim, għazel kategorija milli ma semmejt l-eks li ġa għandek. Sports. Int baqalek l-sports, l-istoria u baqalek l-arti u l-kultura.
L-istorja.
Ok, ħammorru l-istorja tal-istoria. F'liema sena era it-Titanic.
1912.
Tweġiba hija tajba. Nil, ħammorru fl-unika kategorija li joqsok li hija tal-arti u tal-kultura.
Arti culture, okay.
Min kiteb stejjer ta' tfal bħal Cinderella, Hansel and Gretel u Sleeping Beauty fost l-oħrajn. Di
The fourth answer. The fourth.
Kallo kolodi. Tweġiba hija ħażina.
Mex kienet.
L-aħwa Grimm.
L-aħwa Grimm.
Ħames punti. Hello and welcome to a special episode of the 80s Humanist Show. We will start by highlighting some of the recent 80s news as provided by 80s Republic. Their website will be linked in the description box below. Criminal trials exposed child marriage practices in Turkey. New research reveals that atheists are just as healthy as the religious. Political sponsorship of persecuted Iranian atheist Sohail Arabi. And people are wondering, does the technology undo the age-old curse from God? And now on the topic of today, in celebration of Darwin Day, also known as Darwin's birthday, we will briefly discuss Charles Darwin's evolution theory. The idea had started a long time, but it primarily changed from Charles Darwin, which wanted a logical and scientific way to discover how nature came to be. So he created the evolution theory, which revolutionized the biology industry highly. But that wasn't the start. According to this article by the National Geographic, which will be linked in the description box below as well, it was a Greek philosopher from 500 BCE, Anaximander speculated that because human babies are born helpless, humans must have descendants from another type of creature whose young could survive without assistance, and could survive without assistance. He deduced that those ancestors had to be fish, because fish hatch from eggs, and being living without assistance from their parents. Based on the logic, he proposed that all life began in the sea. The philosopher was correct, however, it wasn't a theory, as there was no way to tell it right or wrong. A theory is an idea about how something in nature works that has been rigorously tested to observations and experiments to prove the idea correct or incorrect regarding the evolution of life. Various philosophers and scientists, including an 18th century English doctor named Asmund Darwin, proposed various aspects of that would later become evolutionary theory. But it wasn't until Darwin's grandson, the more famous Charles Darwin, published his famous book on the origins of species that evolution became a scientific theory. Darwin and his scientific colleague Alfred Russel Wallace proposed that evolution occurs as a result of a phenomenon known as natural selection. According to natural selection theory, organisms produce more offspring than can survive in their environment. Those who are physically better equipped to survive, mature, and reproduce. Those who lack such fitness, on the other hand, either do not reach the reproductive age or produce fewer offspring than their counterparts. Natural selection is sometimes summed up as a survival of the fittest. The fittest organisms, those best adapted to the environment, and the ones who reproduce the most successfully, and the most likely to pass on their traits to the next generation. This means that an environment changes, so will the traits that help people survive in that environment. Natural selection was such an effective theory for explaining the evolution of life that it was accepted as a scientific theory. Since then, biologists have found numerous examples of natural selection influencing evolution. is now understood to be one of the several mechanisms by which life evolves. A phenomenon known as genetic drift, for example, can also cause species to evolve. In genetic drift, some organisms produce more offspring than would be expected by chance. Those organisms may not be fittest of their species, but their genes are passed down to the next generation. So that was a brief a general overview of the evolution theory by Charles Darwin.
حبيب الزور حبيب الفاروكينا يعجبني نايت عليا أشياء يسبر بيا ومتى يأتشى يتكلم معنا شيلني لكون مثلي فوق البولترونة سيني نتفهم شحشحيزني شي سلطان ونرهي راسي فيدو من الملان هارس لهي من تحت لسن شي كلمة يعيد لدان لك
الكلاس كنا 22 عينينا جاسي كلها مسهرين نسيم وجرية تمريل تقيل كبام بن حلو نسلم رتجيب وهن اصحابنا صدق صدرات يدرجل تساونا شعر النقلات قلنا representio chi ti prepara l'angelio magi il bahra والحمار ازداد تبين يسوع بامبين كم جلد سودا بينيش كريم قبلنا مخنا جسينا ليه عجبان بالنسبة ما كينش البيت ازداد تبين يسوع بامبين كم جلد سودا بينيش كريم قبلنا مخنا جسينا ليه عجبان بالنسبة ما كينش البيت بالخسيت تتفايل كنا منكتين الكلاس كلها 22 بريسبتي لستي برا داك التفل اسفل شعر النقلات عينيه مكسورة كلها مشاربين مشهورة باهت من غير بامبين ومرنا نرقدو قلبنا بالدين همدا مكسورة بسن الفيل ازدف في الهدو 22 بينام بلوة أينام سهرين هم في المشتورة هم في نفس البلاد جبان بالنسبة شعر النقلات ازدف في الهدو 22 أينام بلوة أينام سهرين هم في المشتورة هم في نفس البلاد جبان بالنسبة شعر النقلات
دريتني حزينة بيش ندري نحتاج لنكون هديك كم كان يسوي لي